The next 5 years in the outsourcing space, in my opinion, looks like more outsourcing. If we think back to the Drucker quote, I'm going to butcher it a bit, but it's paraphrasing essentially, do what you do best and outsource the rest. I think that that's going to be even more and more important. The reason is, especially in the pharma industry, things are changing so fast. We have to be agile. And so allowing companies to focus on what they do best and then their partners to focus on what they do best will allow everything to operate much more smoothly and agilely, which I think is really important. The biggest challenge that most organizations need to overcome to be most successful is to really utilize the resources they have to their best ability. And I mean that as both internal and external resources. If you think about having a speak-up culture in which everybody is able to communicate what they see, you as a leader of that company have a 360-degree view. And if you not only give people the opportunity to speak up so that you're hearing everything, but if you also empower them so that they can make the changes on the ground rather than waiting for somebody else to do it, you can really allow your company to operate as successfully and efficiently as possible. So contracts are generally seen as a pain point in pretty much every single organization. They can't be done quickly enough, and the money that you're spending on any of those sort of cost avoidance or risk management measures are money you're not spending in the labs researching or doing clinical trials. So the more you can do to reduce those costs, the faster that you can turn around those transactions, the better the business can operate. I like to think of risk management overall as a value pyramid. So I would encourage anybody who's engaged in this space to take a look at how they are managing risk. When you're looking at the highest risk, do you have your highest cost, most specialized resources focusing on that? If they're down working on day-to-day transactions, not the best use of their time, not the best uses of your resources. So think about, your most valuable, most costly resources focusing on the highest value-add activities. Then look for a team like mine, perhaps if you want to have a centralized contract structure that can do all the day-to-day business transactions and then can also either outsource or self-service, automate different opportunities, things that are lower risk. So again, it's thinking of that value pyramid and looking at your risk management through that lens. I think one of the most important things you can do to have an effective outsourcing relationship is think of your vendor that you're working with really as a partner and not as a vendor. So one of the things I'll talk about in my presentation is the one team mentality. Take the time to, before you even engage with them, go see what their site is like. What is the quality of work that they're doing? What is the morale like of that team? What's the culture? Does it fit with yours? Because the more you fit just naturally from the culture up front, the more you then work together, the more successful the relationship will be. If you think about it, when you're that closely working with somebody, especially if you're outsourcing critical things like manufacturing, like key components of your operations, you sink or swim together. So having people incentivized, thinking of each other as partners, not as a servient type relationship, I think really is a big secret to success. First, I look at what are the objectives on our side, and have we incentivized our partner to meet those objectives? So in other words, if we are successful, are they going to benefit from that success? And similarly, if they do something that's going to hurt us, are we setting up that contract so that is not a direction they're ever going to want to go in? So really aligning incentives is number one. Second, the ongoing governance and supplier relationship management is really key because there's an opportunity to hear from them what's working and not working. They may sometimes have insights on how you can do things better, and vice versa. You can be giving them feedback very quickly on things that aren't quite right before they blow up into a bigger issue. I think it's a great group of people from a lot of different companies, which is exciting. I really actually applaud the organizers for thinking a bit bigger. It's got a heavy external manufacturing focus, but even the fact that you've got someone like me presenting on a somewhat related but not directly related topic shows me that you guys are thinking about outsourcing even in a bigger way, and I think that's very exciting. So my talk is a bit of a different topic, right? It's less about external manufacturing, and it's really looking at contract operations and how to potentially leverage outsourcing to improve those operations. So what I want people to walk away with is recognizing, yes, we outsource manufacturing, clinical trial, some research, et cetera, but the day-to-day business operations are also a tremendous opportunity for outsourcing. I'm actually really looking forward to a bunch of the panel discussions. I always find panels to be very interesting. I always find panels to be very interesting. I always find panels to be very interesting. Where do people start? What are the different positions that they bring? And do you see commonalities of themes or not? So that's actually one of the things I'm really looking forward to, is watching those.